Hey, how's it going, everybody? Paige here, the One Foot Gamer. I'm doing okay. I had a request to do a video on what the next tier of wizards can do, because I did a video on how earth-shattering just a low-level wizard can be. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to do a video here on the next tier of wizard, that 7th through 9th level wizard. Oh, thanks to all my new subscribers. I am coming up at 100 subscribers. Not bad at all. Nowhere near the 7,000 on my other channel, but still not bad. Your 7th level wizard, you know, he's got access to 4th level spells. It might, maybe in a different version of the game, you might have access to 4th level spells at a different level, but if you've got access to 4th level spells, you can charm monster. You can charm any creature other than an undead monster, or charm a whole group of less powerful monsters. Oh, I'm only looking at the spells out of the D&D Rules Cyclopedia because that's the most compact version of the general D&D spell list that's existed for decades. And it's got most of the world changers in there. Most every spell I have here still exists in 3rd, 4th, 5th edition, so it's a good list to look at. Now, with Charm Monster, you can forget about the caster's personal lack of fighting prowess. His D4 hit dice and 10 armor class do not matter. With Charm Monster, he just doesn't need it. He can keep a big beast or 5 around at all times, either for personal protection or for offense. And your wily wizard can get around the charms wearing off by having his still charmed minions trained and told to restrain the ones who break out of it. You know, it can be like, you know, he can, you know, make up a foe who could be affecting the minds of all the hill giants that are his friends, and say, you know, if any of them starts acting weird or says anything negative about me, you know, they're probably under control of that evil wizard, so we're gonna have to restrain them. And then he can go ahead and charm that hill giant again. Charm Monster is also an incredible problem-solving or high spell. Walk in the front door of the place, cast Charm Monster. Suddenly, almost everybody is on your side. Note that while Charm Monster is always incredible, it has been continually nerfed over the years, to the point where, like, the 3.5 version is not on the same class of spell as the BECMI of the AD&D version, mostly because it doesn't last long enough, and it's easier for the monsters to make the saves. Alright, our next up, Growth of Plants. This is similar to Continual Darkness. It's one of those permanent spells that can either be carefully placed with a single casting to have a massive effect on the world, or you can just create entire impassable areas with multiple castings. You know, just make the entire entrance to the forest impassable if you want to. You know, you got a beef with that old hermit, make it impossible for him to get back to his shack, or to get out of his shack, or whatever it is that you want to do to affect the world. Next one up, Polymorph Other. Turn one creature into a different creature. This is permanent until dispelled, or until the creature dies. This is strongest in your early games like BECMI, where the creature gains both the mind and the abilities of what it's polymorphed into. Thus, if you want to, you know, you got a beef with the Thieves Guild Master or Prince of Cormyr or whatever else, you just turn him into a planar spider. He'll also gain the mind of a planar spider. He'll just jaunt away to another plane. He'll never come back. No need to worry about when and if the spell is ever dispelled, or him being killed and turning back to his own body, because he will be 15 planes away and will never get back. Or you can use it for reasons to just create better monsters for what you've got. Now, AD&D nerfs the spell a little bit. 3rd edition changes the effect from a 4th level spell to an 8th level spell that is still worse than the 4th edition BECMI version, 4th level BECMI version. So if you got access to Polymorph Other in BECMI, it is awesome. Oh, BECMI is also a short term for Basic Expert Companion Masters Immortal, basically the Rules Cyclopedia D&D. I'm going to give an honorable mention here to Dimension Door and Wizard Eyes. They are both great spells, but they solve problems that can be solved with lower level spells on the wizard list. So thus they are not world changers because those problems were already solved. Going up to your wizard who can cast 5th level spells. Now this wizard can cast Animate Dead. He can create endless undead hordes under his control using multiple castings, and in classic D&D, there is no limit to the size of the horde. 3rd edition D&D nerfs the spell into uselessness. It limits the amount of hit dice the caster can control, making what he can control basically just a series of tiny speed bumps or obstacles that are not capable of threatening or doing anything to the level of opponents that he would be facing. Also, because, 3rd edition D&D tends to have that thing called game balance, that classic D&D doesn't. Next up, Feeble Mind. Now, D&D has a lot of spells that can take out a creature if they fail a savings throw, but this one is particularly good against rival spellcasters because they make the save against the spell at a -4 penalty. And that's important because spellcasters tend to have good saves against spells, so they're harder to take out with a save or suck or save or die spell. But Feeble Mind takes care of their good save by giving them a big penalty to it. Got some honorable mentions. Cloud Kill. It's mass killing of the weak, but Fireball accomplishes the exact same thing. This just scales it up slightly to more powerful creatures. The only advantage it really has over Fireball in the real problem-solving area is that it will roll downhill, so you could let one loose in a city at the top of a hill and just wreak absolute havoc, whether it's a enemy city, evil enemy city, or you're a bad guy. I don't know. But moving on. Contact, Other Plane. Oh, this is also honorable mentions, by the way. We're out of the good ones. Because, see, the wizard gains most of its best things it can do very beginning of its career. Contact Other Plane or Contact Outer Plane. This would be a banger of a spell, but the chance of a negative outcome is so big in BECMI and AD&D that just putting it in your spellbook is a bad idea. It is a waste of cost, ink, waste of a spell known. This is one of the few spells that actively gets better in third edition D&D. Much better to cast in 3rd than Classic. And finally, on your honorable mentions, we've got Teleport. Teleport is a great spell any individual time you cast it. The problem is, if you keep casting it, you're absolutely going to kill the wizard who casts the spell, because eventually you are going to end up in solid ground. The only way around that is to employ a 2-spell combination of either Fly or Featherfall, and then always target hundreds of feet into the air, and then Fly or Featherfall down. Otherwise, that wizard will end up in solid rock. Eventually, it's only a matter of time. Alright, that's all I got for the wizard spells. I'll have another video out soon. Remember, I'm always buying D&D and all sorts of other RPG material. Get a hold of me on Instagram if you want to unload your collection. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Thanks, and I hope to see you again soon.